Welcome back. We have Eileen Paulin here, who is our Director of Media and Communications. Welcome. Happy holidays.
Thanks, Lisa. Happy holidays to you, too. Can't believe they're here.
I know. It's just 5 more days. And there's some big changes happening in 2023, and this has been an ongoing research project that I know many of you have been involved in. But of course, now you at least have some concrete ideas and things that you can share.
Well, there's kind of 2 things going on that I want to help people to understand. And one of them is that GRF really understands that, and a lot of people, and we're going to be talking a lot more about this on TV6 in the future, but the infrastructure that runs our cable television and our internet is owned by GRF. And that is a very rare situation because normally these are, run by an outside entity. So it's a very, very valuable asset that GRF has. And it's part of the reason why people are able to get their cable TV and internet at much, much lower rates than what they would be paying if they lived outside the village.
Okay.
So GRF and with staff has recognized that we're at a point with that whole system that we're getting to end of life on some of the technology. So we've been spending a great deal of time the last 6 months taking a really close look at what's the best thing to do for the village and for the residents.
Right.
We don't have that answer yet. But one of the things that we do know is that we are starting to have much higher demands for internet speeds.
Okay.
So I wanted to just touch a little bit. I think, and this is one of my favorite graphics, the one that you have up on the screen right now. A lot of us don't realize how much more use that we have of the internet than we had even 5 years ago. And I want our residents to think for a minute. They may have a desktop, then they may have a tablet. They may have a laptop that they use.
Yeah.
They may have an Apple Watch. They may have a health device that is monitoring their heart rate and different things like this that are all on the internet. They're run
Another biggie one here is the thermostat, because now many people are switching over to those digital ones they can control, so they don't have to get out of bed.
That's right. Well, many of our residents are moving in. They're doing major remodels.
Yeah.
And you're right. And then, we've had a lot of people ask, can I have a Ring doorbell in here? Well, of course you can have a Ring doorbell. You can have a Nest camera system, whatever you want. So the point is that there's much more demand.
Yes.
And we are in a partnership with West Coast Internet. So what I'm talking about right now is GRF is in a partnership. But GRF does not, we provide the infrastructure, but we don't bring that internet line into the village. That's done by West Coast Internet, which is a partnership that GRF's been in for quite some time. And it's been a good partnership. So in talking, it's time to up the speeds is the point. So in order to be able to really do that properly, I just want to talk a little bit about what the plan is.
Okay.
And so I will keep talking. So what you have here, and I'm going to be the first one to tell you that this is not going to be that easy for our viewers to read. And I'm going to tell you where you can go to look at it if you really want to analyze it. And that is if you go to the website under calendars and you go to this month's GRF meeting, which was the first week in December, and you open the agenda packet, there is a staff report in there that has this chart. And what it shows you is what the current speed levels are, what the new speed levels are proposed to be, and the rate increase that will be going into place.
Okay.
But before we move off the slide, there's one really important point. This is really a win-win for our residents, because let's just say that you're at the lowest speed there at 15 over 3 Mbps. You're going to get your speed doubled for $3 a month.
Oh.
But if you're at the next level right now, at the old speed of 30.3, if you want to, you can bump up, or I should say down in a way, but you can go to that other rate, which is up above it, and you're still gonna see an increase. So let's just say, see you're at 30 point, so you're gonna bump up, and you'll save money. So that part's a win-win, but we also have to take in mind, and we ought to take a look at the subscriber counts just for real quickly.
Yeah.
And again, this is a slide that's better looked at probably in the staff report, but we have seen a growing increase year over year. It's close to 20% of our residents are at the highest speed we offer, and we're losing people at the lowest speed.
Okay.
So we saw that there was this demand. So the feel was it makes sense to upgrade what we're offering.
Yes.
We have not had a rate increase since 2014.
Wow. Now, will you offer all of those levels still?
All of those levels. Now, the one thing that we do want to make sure people understand is people who are at the lowest level right now will be allowed to stay at that tier.
Okay.
However, we're not going to be offering it to new residents. We want to grandfather that and sunset it because it's really becoming, in another couple of years, it's not going to do anybody much good.
However, if somebody chooses not to do it right away, would they be able to change over at some point? Like, are you locked in for a year once you sign up for that particular?
No, you're not, no.
Okay.
But that's one of the beauties with working with West Coast Internet.
Okay.
You can change at any time.
Gotcha.
And I think what people have to understand is they have to just look at what their usage is. Another thing that's really affecting this is streaming. And I think just about all of us that are active in looking at entertainment content are streaming. And that requires a lot more bandwidth.
It sure does. Those movies, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's really good information because, like you said, we've had the system for quite some time the way it is, and now it is time. Now it's going to take some moving around of fiber and things like that, right?
This particular move that we're making right now does not affect the infrastructure.
Oh, fantastic.
We are able, because of the fiber that we have there, we just have to work with the West Coast Internet on that technology.
That's great.
Separately, at some point, you're right, we are going to have to really take a good solid look at what's underground with fiber, but that is almost it's part of this project, but it's almost a separate project.
Okay.
And that is being handled by the GRF ad hoc committee, broadband ad hoc committee, and it's made up of members of all of the boards and several strong advisors.
Okay.
And we've been working now for quite some time on this.
Right.
And the beginning of first quarter of next year is really going to be these people are putting in. I just want to let you know these residents are putting in so much time on this.
Yeah.
Because we have to help them understand a technology that's quite complex.
Yeah.
So that they can advise the right decision that they want to make for how we invest in this.
Right, and it, like you said, it's complicated, and many folks may not be aware of some of the technology that is available today.
Most people just want to turn on their television.
Don't we all?
Hit the button, turn on the TV, hit the button, get on the internet, and they don't understand that when you're walking and driving in this village, you're walking and driving over this incredible infrastructure that makes that happen. And we have a whole team of people that make 24/7 that keep that going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at the countdown here of how this all came about. So we've November 1st, you had a contract change.
Well, let me, one thing I want to really emphasize, we held some focus groups this year, and one of the things that really came through very strongly from our residents is they feel like they're finding out about changes after the fact rather than before the fact. So in our media communications department, we're trying to work very closely with the boards. If you have a major initiative in committee and you are going to bring that to the board, we want to let people know that that's coming up. So that was the purpose of just showing you the timeline here. So what happened was we brought this to GRF, and they agreed with the committee's recommendation. So they brought it in their December 6th meeting. They brought it up as a resolution, but it's on 28-day.
Okay.
And so January meeting, January 3rd, is when they're going to meet to vote on this finally. And then if the vote goes through, which is anticipated, the increase will go in place in March.
Okay.
But we wanted, again, part of my being here today is to let people know and that this is coming. It's not a surprise.
Yeah.
But it is part of getting the village ready for the future.
Exactly. And so now it's still on 28-day notice, and it won't go to approval until January 3rd. So what can a resident do between now and then?
If they have any concerns or questions, I mean, first of all, I mentioned where the staff report is.
Right.
They can come to the meeting and ask questions.
Okay.
I would be happy if they wanted to contact me. I don't have any issue with that. My email is eileen.paulin@vmsinc.org.
Okay.
And we can answer any questions that people have. Or if they have a comment that they would like read at the meeting, they can send an email to info@lagunawoodsvillage.com.
Okay.
But I would strongly recommend, and I anticipate that there's certain people like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? And that really maybe don't understand the importance of this and why it's been a very well thought out recommendation.
Sure.
And I'd be happy to try to answer any questions that they might have up front.
Okay, perfect. Well, I appreciate all the information.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
good luck with all these changes.
Thank you. We've been busy, let me tell you.
Okay.
So,
Perfect.
Right.
And did you want to?
I just wanted to say to everyone, I'm going to kind of break the wall, as they say. We just appreciate working with all of you residents, and from those of us in the Media and Communications Department, including the TV6 team, and those wonderful techs who come out and make sure that your broadband is working for you all the time. Happy, happy holidays. And it's a pleasure, and we just wish you the best.
Thank you. If you want more information about anything that was related to broadband or internet, you can always email us at info@lagunawoodsvillage.com. We'll be right back.